Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. The whole armor of God. The whole armor of God is so important to understand when it comes to spiritual warfare. Because we're going into war and don't have armor on, good luck. I'll explain as we go on with these videos, but here we go. Verse 13, Ephesians chapter 6. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. All right. We would pretty much all agree right now that the spirit of sickness, the spirit of fear is spreading rampant throughout the world right now. So this would make sense that this would be maybe considered the evil day, right? Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, not just the helmet, not just the sword, but the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Withstand actually means to stand up against or oppose with firm determination, or to stop. What's so important here is we have to know that we have armor. We have to understand what's going on throughout the world in regards to spiritual warfare. It's not what we see with our eyes. What we're seeing with our eyes is a distraction. It is a distraction. It's distracting us and deceiving us to become fearful, to worry, to stress, to have anxiety, to doubt things. It is all distraction of what's going on in the spirit. Now, the Lord just spoke this to my heart that I need to read this right now, because this is not supposed to be a negative message, but we need to understand what's going on that we can see what's going on in the light. Romans chapter 5, verse 21. So that as sin reigned in death. Oh, I'm sorry. Verse 20. Romans 5 is really good. Just hang on Romans 5 for like a day or two. It is unreal. But Romans 5, verse 20. Moreover, the law entered that the offense might abound. But where sin abounded, grace abounded much more. Now, in Hebrews 11, it says, I think it's 11, maybe verse 6. I'll just read it so I'm not going verbatim. I want to make sure this is correct, how I speak this. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please God. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So the opposite of faith is fear. And so, but without faith it's impossible to please God. So anything that's not of faith, right? Actually, in Romans chapter, gotta read this. This is just coming to me right now, so I'm sorry. I want to make sure I get this message out here. Romans chapter 14, verse 23. But he who doubts is condemned if he eats, because he does not eat from faith. For whatever is not from faith is sin. For whatever is not from faith is sin. Romans 5, verse 20. Moreover, the law entered that the offense might abound, but where sin abounded, or where fear abounded, grace abounded much more. So we have this super abundant ability to receive God's grace. And people will think, I thought grace was one thing. Romans 5, verse 17. For if by the one man's offense death reigned through the one, much more those who receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness will reign in life through the one, Jesus Christ. Okay, so going back to Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 6. It is so important to understand during this evil day that as sin abounds, grace abounds much more. So God's manifestation, grace in its purest form is the Holy Spirit. Okay, His unmerited favor, His blessing towards us. That when sin abounded, grace abounded much more. So the potential of grace to receive right now during this time is super abundant, okay? Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, verse 13, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Guys, I encourage you to understand and to develop your faith and begin reading Ephesians 6, chapter 10 through verses 18. So good. It will literally tell you what your armor is, and I'm going to be teaching on this as we go throughout these videos. But we have to stand firm with the whole armor of God. We have to. If we don't, we're going to get beat up all day long. I know the battle has been won, but we don't need to get beat up in the process. Okay. Pray this video has been a blessing for you. Again, where sin abounded, grace abounded much more. So when the dark seems to be getting darker, the light will be getting lighter. Pray this has been a blessing. On to the next.